Today, we are tackling a topic that usually hits hard: getting blocked by your ex. I know it stings, I know it confuses, I know it leaves you with a bunch of unanswered questions. So, if you're stewing over why this has happened, why your ex blocked you, and what your next move should be, stick around and let's dive into this together. First things first, let's talk about why your ex might have blocked you. And while it's really easy to spiral into self-blame, understand that people block others for a reason, for a bunch of reasons, most of which are way more about them than about you. Now, here are just some of the reasons your ex might have blocked you. Maybe they need space to heal and move on. Maybe they felt suffocated and need more privacy than the relationship allows or has allowed them. Maybe there's a possibility that they're resentful and angry about how things ended. Maybe they could be protecting their new relationship or relationships from past complexities and drama that maybe comes about whenever you guys interact. Maybe they just wanted a clean slate, a fresh start, and blocking you, well, that's your ex's way of getting that clean slate. Now, it's also crucial to reflect on your behaviors as well. Like, were you being too clingy? Were you possibly being disrespectful? Were you toxic in some way? Maybe those are also some valid reasons why your ex might have blocked you. And addressing them can be a step towards some much needed personal growth. Personal growth that maybe gets you at some point unblocked. Who knows? But here's the thing. Your ex blocking you, sometimes it can actually be a good thing. Yes, I know it sounds a bit crazy, a bit out there, but being blocked, believe it or not, has some legit benefits. For example, it leads to less obsessing, meaning without the means to check up on your ex, you're less likely to obsess over them and every detail about their life or the relationship you had. It also reduces temptations to reach out, because when you're blocked, you probably won't be as tempted to message or call your ex and regret it later than if you weren't blocked, And this block also helps you focus on yourself and your personal growth rather than your ex and what they're going through and what's new in their life. All of which, when you focus on that, it stifles your recovery, and we don't want that. Now, how should you deal with being blocked? Well, here are some practical tips so you can navigate the situation more smoothly and more wisely. First of all, being acceptance. Like, this is the first step. You need to recognize that being blocked is beyond your control. You might not understand or agree with your ex's reasons for being blocked, right? That's fair. But it's essential to respect their boundaries and whatever that reason is. Then my next tip is to avoid fixation. Because look, it's tempting to obsess over why you were blocked, but this often just leads to misery. So instead of fixing on these reasons and the block in general, I want you to shift your focus to your own life. What are your goals? What hobbies have you neglected? Maybe get into them again. Maybe set some new goals or start pursuing some old ones that, well, maybe you forgot all about. Like, redirecting your attention will not only improve your mental health, as I said earlier, it will also enrich your life with or without your ex. And that's incredible in terms of just feeling better, feeling like yourself again post-breakup. As for tip number 3, go on a social media detox, meaning consider a temporary detox where for, let's say, a month to 3 months, you simply don't use social media. This way you can avoid these constant updates from friends that maybe give you a glimpse into your ex's life and that can then make moving on more difficult. Now, another reason you should apply the social media detox, and a really good one in fact, is that when you do it, you reduce the urge to check up on your ex whether or not they have unblocked you, which also speeds up your healing. As for my next tip, rebuild your self-esteem. Now look, being blocked, I totally get it, it can hit your self-esteem, it can damage it. So you want to mitigate some of the damage by, for example, engaging in activities that make you feel good about yourself, whether it's physical activities like yoga and running, or just creative outlets like painting or writing. And you want to make sure to celebrate the small victories and milestones in these areas so you can eventually rebuild your confidence, which will rebuild your self-esteem concurrently. My next tip, seek support. Basically, don't go through this breakup alone. Talk to friends, to family, whoever will understand what you're going through. Tell them that you're blocked. Tell them it upsets you. Ask them for support. You may even consider joining support groups or talking to a therapist. All really good solutions as well. Because any way you look at it, external support can provide a very different, more realistic perspective on your breakup and on the reason why you might be blocked. And also, of course, that much needed encouragement that everyone needs during difficult times. Another thing you can do, which kind of leads us to our next tip, is journaling. Simply writing down your thoughts and your feelings can be a very therapeutic way to process your situation. So, maybe journal about your healing progress, your setbacks, any emotions that arise. This not only helps in managing your feelings, but also in tracking your healing process over time. It's a really powerful modality. A lot of people skip it because it is a bit difficult, and I get it, but try not to be one of them. Journaling has some very thorough research behind it. It is proven to help people with various kinds of life crises, and if it's too hard to write things down, here's a pro tip, or actually just something I personally do because I'm too lazy to write shit down. Use your phone. Do an audio journal. Have an audio journal. And simply go on a stroll, that's at least how I do it, and talk into your phone while you record yourself, while you record the audio. Talk about your progress and your setbacks and your goals and your feelings and all that stuff. You don't really have to write it down, although from what I've read, that is still the better, more effective solution, healing-wise. But anyway, onwards to our next tip, to our last tip in fact, plan your communication. If you must remain in contact with your ex, maybe due to some shared responsibilities or mutual friends, I want you to plan out how and when you will communicate. And I want you to keep your interactions brief and focused only on the necessary topics so you prevent, old emotions from resurfacing and then prolonging your healing as a result. Now, one final note here, if you have no shared obligations or responsibilities with your ex, and you think blocking them back would help you in your healing, and you don't want to get back together with them, then by all means, block them back. I don't think it's a bad thing to do at all, like an unhealthy or unethical thing. I would encourage you to do it if you meet those criteria. But to wrap up, getting blocked doesn't mean you are unlovable, that you are unworthy. It's simply a sign that this chapter is over and it's probably time to start a new one. So that's it for this video. If you want more advice for handling a breakup and its aftermath, sign up for my free newsletter, The Breakthrough Letter. Link below this video. Once you sign up, you'll basically start receiving a weekly email with one idea, one suggestion, and one resource to help you break through your breakup and create a new possibility for love, either with your ex or with someone brand new. Sign up below this video, and that's all from my side. Take care.